On March 13, a video of an explosion that took place that went viral on Twitter reveals that a large explosion ripped through a convoy of Russian soldiers, hitting a surface-to-air missile system directly. That's right, you heard it correctly. Ukraine made a massive explosion in Russia. Please stay tuned to find out how the whole story unfolds. Hello everyone, welcome to Warzone. If you don't want to miss out on any new political news, conflicts, battles, or anything else related to politics, then subscribe to our channel and hit the bell button so that you will always be notified. This black and white video was posted on the Ukrainian Armed Forces Facebook page. There have also been several similar videos that have been posted on social media in recent days that demonstrate the devastating impact of Ukrainian drone strikes on Russian hardware. It appears that the video was shot from a cell phone, and it is a screen recording from a screen inside a Ukrainian drone facility where people can be heard gasping in astonishment before erupting in cheers and applause when the drone's payload explodes in the video. In less than 2 days, the video has more than 3 million views on Twitter. The Ukrainian Armed Forces wrote in the video's caption, "Have fear, enemies, there will be no peace for you on our earth." One of the stars of this video and other videos that circulate on Twitter is the Baykar TB2, a type of Turkish drone that the Ukrainian military has increasingly deployed against Russian forces in recent weeks. The Ukrainian military announced on March 15 that Baykar drones had destroyed 1 tank and 2 surface-to-air missile systems overnight in the country. Other videos shared on Twitter show Baykar drones, which have been in use by the military since at least 2021, carrying out violent attacks on what appears to be a Russia fuel convoy and a group of supply trucks. According to promotional material produced by Baykar Technologies, these drones are very small and lightweight, with a 12-meter wingspan that allows them to remain in the sky for up to 30 hours at a time, and they are around 7 times lighter than the US military's Reaper drone. The drones have the capacity to carry 4 laser-guided missiles. Now, let's see what the impact of Baykar drones on Ukraine is. Well, according to the US and European military analysts, Ukraine's drone campaign has made a significant contribution to its early successes in slowing the Russian advance and is revealing surprising weaknesses on the part of the Russian army. More importantly, analysts reiterate that these videos are also becoming an increasingly prominent part of the information war in Ukraine, giving Russian invaders a reason to fear their enemy and giving Ukrainians a reason to keep their spirits high amid fears of a coming military invasion. However, analysts point out that the drones are unlikely to change the long-term course of the war in any meaningful way. According to Arda Miluvotolu, a Turkish aerospace and military analyst, the footage released by the Ukrainian military shows serious deficiencies in the Russian air defense cover, to the surprise of many observers. Milutolu adds, the footage is also very useful for public relations and psychological warfare. There was a time when the sole purpose of military drones was to carry out reliable and accurate missions for the US military. However, this technology has become more commonplace in the last few years and is now a fixture of many 21st century battlefields. Turkey is now the leading supplier of this technology. Over the past 2 years, Turkish Baykar drones have not only been seen in the Ukraine, but also in Ethiopia, Azerbaijan, Libya, and Syria. In Ethiopia last year, a rebel force was bearing down on Addis Ababa, the capital of the country, before the government repelled them with the help of drones. In the conflict between Armenia and Azerbaijan in 2020, Turkish drones played a key role in the victory of Azerbaijan over Armenia, an ally of Russia in the conflict. According to Tony Osborne, the London bureau chief of Aviation Week, which is a magazine focused on the aerospace industry, in recent years the Baykars have achieved some really notable successes. I would argue that it's now the most famous drone of them all. On Sunday, the Ukrainian Armed Forces released a video that illustrated one of the key selling points of UAVs, which is that they can undertake disproportionate damage to enemy hardware far more cheaply than other drones, and with little risk involved. According to Osborne, the Baykar drones were sold to Ukraine for a price of in the single digits of $1 million each, but the surface-to-air missile system that Ukraine destroyed in the video on Sunday may have been worth up to $50 million. He says the crucial aspect of these is that they are relatively cheap, which makes it less stressful to lose them when they are not expensive. You can throw them into a fight, and if they do score a dramatic hit like we saw yesterday, suddenly you're winning the attritional war. Osborne estimates that Ukraine probably has around 20 of these Baykar drones in its arsenal during operation. According to Bloomberg, in December, Ukraine had placed orders for 24 more drones, citing government officials. The Turkish government, which is a NATO member, sees the drone sales to Ukraine as aligned with its military interests. In particular, preserving the balance of power in the Black Sea region, says Galip Dalay, an expert in Turkish and Middle Eastern politics at Chatham House, the London think tank on international affairs. Even though Bayraktar drones are manufactured by a private company, Baykar Technologies, it is widely believed that they are an extension of Turkish foreign policy. Selçuk Bayraktar, the company's chief technology officer, is the son-in-law of President Recep Tayyip Erdogan, one of Turkey's most prominent figures. During a webinar in May 2021, Haluk Bayraktar, the company's CEO, and Selçuk Bayraktar's brother, said the US, China, and Israel refused to supply Ukraine with armed UAVs. He said Turkey was the only country that accepted to sell this technology to Ukraine. Moreover, Turkish foreign policy also generated the presence of Bayraktar drones in Syria, Libya, and Azerbaijan, all battlefields where Russian and Turkish proxies were engaged in combat. According to Delay, the use of drones gives Turkey a geopolitical edge. It's one thing to engage in conventional warfare in places like Libya or Syria, but it's quite another to engage in drone attacks as well. Drones make Turkey's job much easier. In some cases, like Ethiopia, Turkish drone sales are likely to be driven more by economic drivers rather than political ones. According to Maluvoluhe, the Turkish government does not attach any political conditions to its drone exports, unlike the United States. There is little doubt that the videos of Bayraktar drones attacking and killing Russian convoys are being shared by the Ukrainian military in order to boost morale. It appears that any Ukrainian morale that might stem from videos of drone strikes will be short-lived, considering the fact that a large column of Russian vehicles is trundling toward Kyiv right now. On the other hand, Baykar looks set to reap the rewards long after his initial investment has been made. Dalay says, "Now that Turkey has a growing defense industry, you want to showcase your items as battle-tested. Those kinds of conflict zones have been major PR for the Turkish drone industry." In a report by Al Jazeera, which cites Moro Gili, a senior researcher at ETH Zurich who specializes in military technology and international security, it is imperative that drones like the TB2 be used in conjunction with electronic systems that can blind enemy radars in order to maximize their effectiveness. Gili said, drones like the TB2 are vulnerable to anti-air defense systems. To be effective, they need to be employed in a savvy way, in coordination with other electronic warfare systems that blind enemy radars and through appropriate tactics. He added, however, against capable enemies, these technologies and tactics might not be sufficient. In Libya, Russian forces figured out effective ways to counter Turkish tactics and shoot down their drones. The same has been observed in Syria and Nagorno-Karabakh. Moreover, he added, the Bayraktar's successes could also be a signal that the Russian forces are advancing without an air defense system, or that Ukraine has acquired advanced electronic warfare systems. Gili also said, whether they will have a systematic effect on the outcome of the war, it's hard to say, but I tend to be skeptical. Probably he is right. Alright everyone, this brings us to the end of our video. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of our upcoming videos. Until then, take care and we will be back with another video.